I haven't watched it yet. I have some buddies who watched it and were kind of irate and furious with some of the responses and how just frustrating it was. But no, I need to watch it. I'll probably watch it sometime here, maybe this afternoon. But I have not. But I'm sure it's just as cringy as imaginable.
We can talk about it on. We'll unpack it on Thursday. Little Butch Jones for the ages. But needless to say, he's trying to run from some things, and maybe I did too much of this, and the champions of life. No, Butch. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. You were the one that did that stuff in the moment because you didn't know how to lead. And that's how you lost your team. That's how you lose a team, because you don't know how to lead.
He was relying too much on gimmicks instead of what really moves the needle in football.
Yep.
63 strain.
But Butch Jones, as Ross Johnson says in the interview, he seems very self-aware. He's kind of laughing at himself from his time here. It's a very interesting thing, and Chris Raines wants to know what happened to Shy Tuttle. Let John Adams finish. So who hit him with the helmet, John? Somebody swung around and hit him with the helmet. Who was it? Do you remember?
Gosh. Yeah, it was a defensive back. I think there might have
Nigel Warrior.
What? I think there was it had something to do with one. They might have dated the same girl or something.
Let's go. I have friends that talk about fights they've seen, like among within the team, that never get out, down through the years. And there were a couple from the 80s that were it was like blood sport. In fact, I got to ask Sean Sinclair about a couple of those, but I've had people tell me that, man, I mean, I'm talking like for the people as we take, William Patterson. Hit it, Brian.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
And here we go. Live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios, it's the Playbook on Fan Run Radio with Caleb DeBusk, Brett Hunlander, and Connor Whitney joining you. I'm William Patterson. We appreciate you listening along with us on this fine Tuesday from Knoxville, Tennessee. And we've got plenty to cover over the next 2 hours, including saying our farewells to Nike as Tennessee is set to switch to Adidas on Wednesday. So we will talk about our favorite uniform combos, favorite moments in Nike uniforms, and also talk about that change, what that entails for the Volunteers. Also last night, the retail replica jerseys surfacing online. We'll talk about what we think of those. And then a little bit later on in hour one, we'll talk about Tennessee baseball and those MLB draft prospects. MLBpipeline.com released their top 200 players in the draft class, and Tennessee had multiple current players, transfer portal signees, and high school signees on the list, and we'll talk about which ones we believe will make it back to Rocky Top for the 2027 season. I will also give my opinion of the recent transaction in the NBA that went down yesterday afternoon, and that will be brief, and we'll get that out of the way, and we'll also discuss LeBron James deciding to leave the Los Angeles Lakers, what that could possibly entail. And then in hour two, Josh Heupel named the number one play caller in the SEC by an analytics database. We'll talk about whether Heupel should continue calling the plays. That's been something often criticized for him in terms of game management and knowing when to take a little bit off on the offensive side of the ball. We'll discuss that. And also, we've got our tables turn trivia today. The guys will question me on the college football knowledge as opposed to what we do on Thursdays where I ask the questions. And I will say, I was up very late last night from what I usually go to bed. I've changed my schedule. I've been going to bed around 11 o'clock. I was up until the wee hours of 2:35 last night, so I might be a little bit off my game. But again, I can't make excuses. I've got to know. I've got to know the now. Well, I will say I am pretty out of sorts today. I was up watching certain things, and I'll talk about that at the end of hour one.
Highlights,
possibly, and so I'm a little off oriented today, but we've still got plenty to cover on a Tuesday. So happy you're here. If you're on that YouTube live stream, we appreciate you watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss any Fan Run content. And the real Big Bird, he's already after it. First like, first comment. Let's go.
Oh, wow.
I like that. Good stuff. Mr. Bird getting in hot. But before we get into the rest of the show, let's welcome in the rest of the crew, beginning with Caleb. Caleb, how are you on this Tuesday?
Feeling good. Yeah, we had a good day yesterday. I think that was like the best 3 games of soccer I've ever watched in my entire life. Not a big soccer guy, so kind of had some fun watching those. And then I saw those Adidas mock-ups come out last night. I really hope that that's not the number font that we go with or the jerseys that we end up going with. I kind of hope that we go a different direction. Those are fake. That's just kind of my personal hope. I'm not a big fan of what we saw last night, but hopefully we'll get some better news come tomorrow. But yeah, other than that, really nothing else going on. Yeah,
I will say what surfaced online last night are the real replicas of the Adidas jerseys. So that would be the font, and that would be what they look like. Now, they're not going to look exactly as pictured on those images that were surfacing. It's been digitalized for online retail, so there are a couple of details that will be different, but I think for the most part, those jerseys are real. Now, I will say there is a white jersey that is going around that has the black trim around the numbers, and while that may be the case, that specific picture going around is AI generated. The only 2 images that have surfaced from those retailers are the dark mode uniforms in addition to the classic orange uniform. So the white ones have not been released, but we did see those Adidas practice jerseys about a month ago, and those did have the black trim. So could be a sign, could be something, could be nothing, but at least that white jersey that has been floating around in terms of the Tennessee Twitter waves, that one is AI generated. I can confirm that. But Brett, to you, you're donning some Adidas threads today, but it happens to be an Emirates kit. Yeah, Arsenal kit, I should say. Is it Arsenal?
It is. Okay. Finally arrived. It's my Champions jersey from the Premier League that they won this season. It only took about a month and some days to get here because obviously Arsenal first time win in 22 years. All the fans want to get their hands on it. So fresh in the mail today, and pretty excited about it. Perfect timing with the World Cup, and yeah, obviously I watched all that stuff and yesterday, and all the NBA news bouncing around. I kind of like this time of year with free agency, see where new guys are going to end up. And, obviously the news of LeBron's really it's going to be interesting to see where he lands. I think we have a pretty good idea, but Laker 10 years done, and people are like, Kobe would never, so I don't bother with those people, but it is, it's a crazy day. I know you experienced your guy moving on as well. So bittersweet day, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'll have some thoughts on that a little bit later on. Connor, to you, how are you on this Tuesday?
Doing good. The soccer yesterday was highly entertaining. It was very upsetting when Brazil knocked out Japan. What was it, the 95th minute?
Yeah.
And then the penalty kick, the penalty shootout, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Penalty shootout between Germany and Paraguay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The
other one too.
The guy that missed over for Germany over the crossbar, look, Germany
put in a tough spot.
Look, Germany had so many things go right for them just to stay alive and then get back to that moment. That was the deciding moment, because I think if he makes that kick, there's no chance the dude from Paraguay buries it. But then, everything kind of changes on that. And then wow. like so many penalty shootouts. Like, people don't like the penalty shootout. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Big fan of it. It's very exciting to me. It was electrifying. So let's have another day of good World Cup soccer today, hopefully.
Yeah, I will say, Brett, I watched a couple of the games yesterday. They were entertaining.
They were.
I found myself watching Netherlands and Morocco last night.
That was a good one.
That was a thrilling finish.
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean, all three of them were
so
must see.
Good stuff for the FIFA World Cup. USA in action tomorrow
night. Yeah.
Okay, tomorrow night. Wednesday
9
night.
o'clock, yeah.
And then if they win that one, because I know the winner of last night's game plays Canada on July 4th. Does the United States get a July 4th game?
I think July 6th, I believe.
Okay.
I
got to say, that would have been a cool day to have one.
Been too perfect. I don't know why they wouldn't set it up that way, but as long as we're still playing, I don't care when it is.
Yeah. All right, well, it's good stuff. Let's get into our first things first topic, and it's the final day with Nike as Tennessee Athletics is set to end its 10-year partnership with the apparel brand on Tuesday, as the Vols will now begin a 10-year deal with Adidas beginning on July 1st, which is tomorrow, Wednesday. The Volunteers were originally partnered with Adidas from 1995 to 2014, at which point they made the jump to Nike. And just over a decade later, Tennessee and Adidas are reuniting on a 10-year deal. And during its original run with Nike, Tennessee was no stranger to success on the national stage, including championships and football and basketball in terms of, maybe a SEC championship and a college football playoff appearance. You also had one in baseball, a national title. That one a little bit more fun than the others. But while those memories are nice, one of the big factors in this deal is that the Vols are going to get some significant NIL repercussions that will benefit them in recruiting and also keeping guys on campus. And this is what Danny White had to say back when the announcement was officially made. And I believe, last summer?
Yeah.
Around that time. Quote, this partnership provides us with a significant advantage in the ever-evolving landscape of college sports. We take pride in our fan base and the competitive edge they offer us. We refuse to partner with someone who does not feel the same way. And I guess a little bit of that is Tennessee feeling they were slighted a little bit and Nike's offer. And Adidas came in and made sure that Tennessee was a priority. And the numbers involved most certainly indicate that Tennessee was a priority, and it should be a grand success, as Tennessee said that Adidas would provide unprecedented NIL opportunities for athletes across all 20 of its varsity sports. In fact, Adidas will immediately start working towards that, and they already have been working towards that over the last year, signing multiple Tennessee players to those Adidas contracts and trying to get them locked in for a spot on the Tennessee roster. David Gabriel Georges, one of those guys to watch out for as well in terms of an Adidas partnership. But as the official unveiling looms tomorrow, how do you guys feel about the move about a year removed now from the decision being made? And look, originally when it was announced, I'm a checks over stripes guy. I like Nike more than Adidas. That's just how I am. I've always been a Nike guy. But in terms of Tennessee athletics, in terms of Tennessee football, basketball, baseball, women's softball, women's basketball, whatever it may be, everyone wants to see Tennessee succeed. And if you want to see Tennessee succeed, that means that the Volunteers and the athletic department are going to have to strategically partner with companies and groups that can help fund those teams. College athletics continues to climb in terms of the budget. It continues to climb in terms of how expensive things are. And we all know that. And Tennessee inks this deal with Adidas to help themselves out in that facet. I don't care if Tennessee is wearing Russell Athletics in terms of the uniforms. As long as you're able to bring in top-tier talent and have an upper hand in the NIL world, I'm all good with it. So while I prefer Nike, and I think Nike's a little bit cooler, a little bit flashier than Adidas, I can still get around it because I know Tennessee is going to be benefited from it in a positive way. And if an Adidas contract brings in a David Gabriel Georges, a guy that's going to be here for 3 years and likely go to the NFL and have a couple of 1,000-yard seasons, I'm all in. So I might be a Nike guy, but for Tennessee, and if you're a Tennessee fan and you want this team to be more successful, want these programs to be more successful, I think you should be excited about the Adidas partnership. Caleb, to you, about a year removed now from the announcement, now a day away from the official unveiling, how do you feel about Tennessee moving from Nike to Adidas?
Well, when I first heard about it, I was a little bit split on it, but and then when you see that we're getting almost double the money from them that we got from Nike, I mean, it's just kind of the way it is now. I mean, I don't really mind Adidas, especially after they've went through their whole kind of, I mean, they've kind of reimagined their image entirely as a company. I mean, our old Adidas uniforms were absolutely terrible, but I mean, these mock-ups that we're seeing, and even what I was expecting to see, just looking at other schools that have Adidas, I wasn't expecting too much of a difference. I mean, really the only difference between these uniforms is the number font's a little bit different, and wasn't super crazy about the Nike number font to begin with. So, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, my biggest concern was how are the black uniforms going to look, and to this, they look basically the exact same. So, I mean, I guess the next thing we got to look forward to is how are the smoky grays going to look, and if what we're seeing is going to maintain the same, I think we're going to see just about the exact same, just with a different logo and number font. So I think overall, this is not that big of a deal. From what I've heard from pretty reliable sources, Nike didn't even offer us a counter deal when this Adidas deal came up. So like they didn't even counter offer the Adidas deal at all. So I think that just goes to show what Nike thinks of us as a program. And I think now we're the flagship Adidas school. I don't know how much they're giving Penn State, but at the time that we signed it, they hadn't had Penn State yet, and we were the flagship school. So I don't know if we'll share that with Penn State or if we're getting about the same amount of money. But I think I'd rather be with a company that's going to respect you and pay you. So I like the move in the long run for us.
Brett, what about you? Checks over stripes, or are you cool with Adidas repping the Vols now?
I'm fine with Adidas. I kind of grew up with Adidas. That's a lot where these, a lot of soccer clubs, that I support and have played and things like that have been Adidas and things like that. Adidas is a big brand too. I mean, I think they're worth like $40 billion, to Nike's like 70. So it's not, I mean, it's a difference, but not a huge difference. Adidas is coming on in the last years. Guys are wearing it. People are sporting it. And for me, it's about the orange. And, as long as we're playing well and competing for championships, the orange is going to be popping. I wish it was just simply orange and white. I'm tired of the grays. I'm tired of the blacks. I'm a traditionalist, and, I kind of wish they would, throw out a white one next to the orange last night, more so than orange against the black. But, I'm going to support the team whatever they wear, and, it's going to be a lot of money. And I think it helped land TK keys for what it's worth, and things like that. So if it brings you the players, it's probably going to bring you success on the fields and the courts and wherever else. And so people are going to buy it. People are going to wear it, and they're still going to support Tennessee no matter what they're wearing. So I'm all for it. And I really not a big uniform guy to begin with, and things like that. So, I'm more concerned about whatever patch we're going to wear, on there and things like that. So, but I don't mind them, and I don't really have a care either way, which way we would have gone in this.
Connor, to you, do you have an opinion on the move from Nike to Adidas for Tennessee?
I like the deal just in terms of I think it represents where Tennessee is going as an athletic department. You know, it's high quality. Again, it's you know all when you look at the success that Tennessee has had in a multitude of sports, whether it is baseball, of course, you know, football, they're back on the map, and now you know to Brett's point, I mean, I think you can make the argument that a big part of TK Key signing on was the fact that he was an Adidas athlete, and of course now he gets to be at an Adidas school. So you're already kind of seeing some of the benefits too. I think it shows that Tennessee is most certainly on the map and is in a destination to play once more, whether it is football or basketball or women's basketball or you know on the diamond. You know, it's a great place to be, and I think that shows that Adidas is committed, and Tennessee is, I think, going to benefit greatly from this. So that's my 2 cents.
Well, Tennessee football's Adidas replica jerseys have leaked online just a couple of hours before the official unveiling tomorrow on Wednesday. Now, again, Tennessee has stated that this is going to be kind of a week-long process. I imagine the football uniforms will be one of the latter jerseys revealed in terms of the anticipation and hype. But more college football posted the retail view of the uniforms, and they are rumored to be the digitalized presentation of the jerseys for retail sale. While these are not the official game-worn threads that Tennessee will run out of the tee against Furman here in September, these are very, very similar of what they'll look like. And again, I think in terms of the fonts and in terms of the colors, those are 100% locked in the placement of those logos as well. So if you haven't seen it online, it's a power tee on the, I guess, the chest plate or the collar at the chest point. And then you've got an Adidas logo on the left chest. And then you've got an SEC logo on the right chest. I'll give my all and that Tennessee font on the back collar. And then the jersey numbers are a different font than they have been under Nike. And again, when Nike and Tennessee collabed, they created their own font for Tennessee. And it was, you know, a Tennessee specific font. So Adidas seems to be kind of going back to what things were like in the 1990s, late 1990s era in terms of that font look. And I think a lot of people will really appreciate it because obviously Tennessee had a ton of success during those years, and it's kind of a modernized retro look for the Volunteers. And again, I'm okay with it as long as they win games, as long as it helps out. I'll roll with it. But a lot of people had opinions about it online. There was a dark mode uniform unveiled as well, and it was the same type of look, but just a black jersey color. And then the orange in terms of the jersey numbers. But that white one still has been yet to be unveiled. And again, there were some AI-generated mock-ups going around town. Those are not official, so just be wary of that while you're scrolling on Twitter today. But what I made of the online leaks was it's basically what Tennessee was under Nike, you know, and just a different font. And I think that's what most people wanted. Because Nebraska last week, they unveiled their new uniforms, and it came with a little bit of concern. You know, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, Tennessee and Penn State, the two teams switching to Adidas tomorrow, are going to have those same type of kits where there's a design on the side and some arrows, some flashes, whatever it may be. And that kind of worried some Tennessee fans, but it seems they have kept everything pretty uniform. And again, when the partnership was done, Tennessee still was going to have full control of those uniforms and the designs in them. Adidas would not have any effect on that. And that seems to be the case with the jerseys that leaked online last night. Again, just the retail view that have been digitalized, but they're the replicas, the stuff they sell in the Vol Shop. They're supposed to look very similar. So outside of that, I really don't have much of an opinion. I'm just glad they didn't mess anything up or try to go over the top.
So is this a trusted? You trust this, like what these people came out with this
Yeah,
morning?
I mean they're correct.
Okay,
those two are correct. The white one's not.
Okay, yeah, because they're right below it has the Penn State ones. On this thing, and then actually just dropped Georgia Tech's too on here. I see.
Yeah.
So, which aren't very good.
Yeah, Georgia
be
Tech's
fair.
Georgia Tech's are interesting.
They look like lacrosse uniforms or something.
Well, they do, but again, you have to keep in mind these are just exact.
Like they don't even have an ACC anywhere on those. So maybe that's.
I think it's on the right chest for the.
All I see on Georgia Tech's on this thing, and I don't know. I mean, maybe you can look at it, but I don't know. But I don't know. You can look at it later. But
Yeah, I've seen the Georgia Tech
it just
ones.
has the Under Armour right here. But
Yeah.
It says Georgia Tech across the chest, but I don't know.
Yeah,
It's interesting to say the least. But
I'm looking at it right now. I'm not a fan.
For the Georgia Tech ones?
No, not the Georgia Tech one. No.
well, I wouldn't have signed up with Under Armour either, but
maybe that's the difference.
yeah, Caleb, what do
Number
you
font is just terrible.
what do you
The
make of
design
the jerseys from last night that surfaced online? I know you said you didn't love them, but these are real, the exact replicas again for retail purposes. But any change of heart as we've been discussing it?
I mean, the more I kind of look at it, and like I do really like the retro, like the modern retro look that a lot of companies and teams are doing nowadays. One thing I will say I like about it is that the replicas that they sell are going to have the SEC patch, because the Nike ones didn't have an SEC patch on them. And I do like how they're gonna have that on there. But I mean, I feel like it'll grow on me. I mean, the fact that it's grown on me in the last 20 minutes just sitting here, just because I haven't really sat and stared at it. Like I've looked at pictures on Twitter and just scrolled. But I mean, the more I look at it, I mean, my biggest concern was the blacks, the black uniforms and what they were going to look like, because I think I didn't want Adidas to overcomplicate things, because that's what they did in the past with ours, when they put the tire tread on our sleeves, or when they did the checkerboard sleeves with the grays, even though we never ended up wearing those because we Greg Schiano'd those. But I mean, I think the best college football black uniforms are when a team just takes their colors and just alternates them black, keeps the uniform the exact same. Like Texas A&M or Iowa State, they have some of the cleanest black uniforms. Obviously, I think Tennessee, the Nike black uniforms for Tennessee, it's going to be hard for any team to ever beat those. Those are like some all-time college football jerseys. But overall, like it'll grow on me. The more I look at it, it'll grow on me. I like the new Adidas logo. The old Adidas logo, where it was a little bit smaller and said the word Adidas under it, that was a little tacky to me. But these new Adidas logos are a lot cleaner, a lot more like minimalistic. So, I mean, overall, it'll grow on me. I'd like to see how the basketball and baseball uniforms look before I make any final decisions on how I feel about everything. But I mean, if everything stays the same for what we're seeing with football, I feel like I'll have a good opinion on them.
Brett, what about you? You see the leaks last night,
Yeah.
And what do you make of them?
I mean, I think I like him. He didn't like the numbers. I think I like this font a little better. And the blacks you tend to only wear once a year. I kind of wish they would have just maybe waited a little bit to drop those. But I don't think overall I don't mind it. I like the look of it across the chest there above the numbers and things like that. I like the little thing under the collar. I think they look nice. I really do. And I'll be interested to see what they look like on the players and things like that. But just first glance, I think they did all right with them.
Power T's a little small.
Yeah, and again, I think that's just the digitalized view. I figure it'll be as big as what it was with the Nike uniform.
The SEC patch will be much bigger too.
Yeah, I agree. I do want to see the Power T, like in the actual ones, be a little bit larger. Personally, the one looks kind of weird, but I do like how thick that the font is a little thicker. I guess more filled out. I wasn't necessarily blown away, but again, they didn't do anything catastrophic with the football jerseys, so those look fine. What I want to see is like, what do they do with kind of the basketball jerseys? What do they do with the Diamond Sports jerseys? What do those jerseys look like? Because I thought, a lot of the jerseys that Tennessee wore, whether it was baseball or softball last year, having covered a lot of those sports, and those jerseys looked really, really nice to me. And there's kind of a high bar for Adidas to kind of jump over. The biggest thing is how do those jerseys in the other sports look? That's what I'm kind of waiting to see.
Yeah, just got a text of, now these are I'm going to send it to you guys. These are the Penn State ones, but these are in person, and someone's holding it up.
Somebody's actually wearing it.
Now, well, it's at a store. Vol Scoops just sent me this via the DMs.
It's a rather large size.
And it's a large size, yes. But that's what it looks like. And again, if you obviously, I know we're talking about it and the viewers can't see it, but it is exactly what was in the picture. And
On the Moore side or the okay.
And I mean, did you guys get it? I'll try to show it on
I see it. I see
try
it.
to show it here on the camera, but it's exactly and that Penn State logo looks much bigger on that collar, and then the Big Ten logo on the side, and then the Adidas one. I mean, it looks fine.
Yeah, my sister and my brother-in-law are there right now, so I'm gonna get them to send me some pictures of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're bringing them in right now.
It's fine. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to. You have to go out and try to make a football jersey look really bad, which is what Georgia Tech did, in my opinion. So I think these are fine jerseys. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing like groundbreaking or anything like that. It's just don't reinvent the wheel. Just do something that looks nice and will be appreciated. And I think Tennessee and Penn State, they both did exactly that.
Yeah.
Do you like how Penn State has a number on the sleeve, or do you still like the number like where they are on the shoulder pad for Tennessee? Like if it goes by the Moore thing, like Penn State's got their number on the sleeve.
Yeah, so I think,
like you said, it's a mock-up. So
Tennessee places them here.
Yeah, but
Penn State's always kind of worn them on the shoulder a little bit. So I think that's the main difference between Tennessee and Penn State there. But
I just didn't know if I thought about it, if I liked it more on the side.
I like it on the top.
Okay.
One thing I will say to some Tennessee fans out there, if they're worried about if they don't like this move, you can go to Dick's right now and get a orange basketball jersey for $54 and a black baseball jersey for $67.
Ooh,
the Nike ones. So if you're gonna miss the Nike, you might as well go.
Sounds expensive.
I know. I'd buy
normally $135 for the baseball. So
I'd buy them if they're $10.
Yeah,
those Nike replicas those are expensive, especially the ones if you get a name on it, it's about $140 for football.
Yeah. Real quick, favorite uniform in the Nike era for Tennessee. Real quick, and this can be across any sport, but my bet would be the basketball uniforms when they went back to kind of the Tennessee and then Volunteers on the top and bottom. I thought that was the best choice because even those old basketball uniforms were okay, but I thought they were kind of like too modern almost. I really like the basketball uniforms. I thought they did an incredible job with that. So that would be my pick, even though there are a lot of good football ones as well. What do you, anyone real quick before the break have a?
I'm going to go a Lady Vols direction and go the white with the orange pinstripe and the Vols script.
Yeah.
That's my favorite UT uniform of all time.
I like those. And that Summit Blue goes well with it as well.
I really liked, I think it was the Summit Blue, Baby Blue, whatever you want to call it, like that the Lady Vols wore in softball this year. I'm just a sucker for anything Baby Blue. Like I would bankrupt myself buying Baby Blue baseball jerseys and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to be sold on stuff like that. So whenever softball was upped in those jerseys, that was a really nice jersey. I also like Tennessee's dark mode baseball jersey too, personally, but Baby Blue is always going to be a winner for me.
Brett, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, he said the baseball one. He's talking about the dark mode. That was probably my favorite, and I just think baseball. I just like how they can do so much more with them and things like that. But
good memories in those dark mode jerseys.
Very good. Yeah,
very good.
Yeah.
Those were good. If you're on that YouTube live stream, comment your favorite Tennessee Nike uniform. Matt Double S says, I liked the cream baseball jerseys with the cursive Vols on the front.
Yeah, that was pretty
good. Another direction with that.
The
cream ones with the block Tennessee. I think those are the best men's baseball jerseys that we had in the Nike era was the block Tennessee cream.
Interesting. Good stuff.
I love
the black jerseys for basketball. I thought were pretty cool too when they first.
See, I didn't like the basketball ones,
okay.
And we didn't really play well in them either. I guess the last time we wore them, it was against Syracuse.
Yeah,
so.
Can I say the orange helmets? Am I allowed to say that on air?
Welcome to
the orange helmets. The one we wore.
Get killed for saying that on air? I don't know. They still look really good, regardless of how we performed. Those are probably my favorite helmets we've ever worn.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll agree on that one, but I respect your opinion nonetheless.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand not wearing them again. I probably wouldn't wear them again either, but just visually looking at them,
it's just an interesting time to do it.
I've got PTSD from them still.
100%.
I will for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I've got very vivid images of me.
We're gonna have to do wellness checks on all of us later.
Yeah,
after that comment.
Exactly. All right, when we come back, we'll turn to the diamond as Tennessee baseball has multiple transfer signees, high school signees, and current players listed in MLB Pipeline's top 200 prospects for the MLB draft, which is coming up here in about 2 weeks. We'll tell you who those guys are when we return right here on the Playbook.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Grab a pack, grab your friends. Everything else in life can wait. Your friends shouldn't. Let's go. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Ball fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for, including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game, Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Smoky Mountain Brewery is the place to be for game day. From the moment you walk in, it's wall-to-wall big screens, making Smoky Mountain Brewery the perfect place to watch the Vols or your favorite team in action. With locations in Turkey Creek, Maryville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg, you're never far away from a great time at Smoky Mountain Brewery. Try one of their world-famous microbrews like Black Bear Ale, Mountain Light, or Cherokee Ale. Juicy burgers, wings that bring the heat, and delicious handmade pizzas made with hand-tossed crust from the freshest ingredients and their own special sauce from a secret recipe, topped off with hand-grated cheese and farm-fresh toppings. And don't forget, those famous microbrews are also available in kegs for your next party or in 6-packs and growlers to go. So grab your crew and head to Smoky Mountain Brewery and tell them Fan Run Radio sent you. Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
The voluntary reaction.
Can't get enough Tennessee basketball? Join Fan Run Radio as soon as every UT game is over for Big Orange Country's post-game radio free-for-all. The voluntary reaction. We'll be taking your calls on the Vols as soon as every game is over. So tune in and buckle up as we drink from the keg of glory all the way to the Final Four.
The voluntary reaction. Raw, unfiltered, real.
All right, back here on the Playbook. We appreciate you listening along with us, however you may be doing so on this fine Tuesday from K-Town. We'll continue our coverage now, pivoting over to the Diamond as Tennessee baseball is awaiting multiple members' status in the 2026 MLB draft that is now about 2 weeks away. As Josh Elander and staff done an incredible job filling out this roster via the transfer portal. Also recruited at a high level in the high school ranks, and many of these guys are on the MLB Pipeline draft board, the top 200 players, prospects, whatever you want to call it, as they enter into July 11th drafting, and that's going to be done in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But it remains right now a question as to whether who's going to make it to campus, which high school guys are going to go to the league. There's one transfer portal player on this list as well. Really, you were trying to figure out who's staying and who's leaving. And the MLB draft ranks feature, and this is in order of where they're ranked, Jared Grinlinger, who is a left-handed high school ranks. He's the number 18 overall guy on this board, the top guy for Tennessee. And then you've got right-handed pitcher Tegan Coons at number 24. He was on the roster last season. You anticipate he's headed to the MLB. And then right-handed pitcher Caden McCarthy, another high school project out of, number 78 overall on this list. And then right-handed pitcher Sean Sullivan at number 83. Right-handed pitcher / shortstop, Cole, what is it? What is it, Connor? Cole Koninger? Kenninger, that's right. Kenninger. I got to work on that, especially if he makes it to campus. Number 98, Jack Duggan, a shortstop, number 106. A catcher, Sean Dunlap, number 112. Right-handed pitcher, Tyler Putnam, number 134. All of those guys I just listed from the high school ranks. And then you get third baseman / outfielder Henry Ford, who was on Tennessee's roster this past season, the transfer from Virginia. He lands at number 145. Jake McCoy, the lefty pitcher from South Carolina, did not play last season due to injury, but he committed to Tennessee baseball out of the transfer portal. He is number 150 on this list, and he is a draft risk for the Volunteers despite being committed. And then the final member on the top 200 is Garrett Wright, a catcher / outfielder who also transferred in this past season to Tennessee, was a part of the team, and he's number 188. So multiple members from this past roster, the transfer portal group, and the high school ranks all on this list here. And Connor, beginning with you, who out of this group is the most likely to make it to campus? And I know there are a lot of names here, so you can kind of give me a cutoff point maybe that this guy, you kind of figure the rest will stick around in Knoxville, or maybe you have a different viewpoint. But which guys do you expect to make to campus?
Well, it's always concerning. You know, it's a good problem to have, I think, is a better way to put it. When you see a lot of guys that are committed to Tennessee that could be draft risks. Certainly you want a few of the high school guys to certainly get there as well. You want some of those high school guys to make it to campus. I think Grinlinger, I think he's the biggest. I think it's fantasy if you can get him to campus. But, hey, if you get him there, that's great. Coons is gone. Once you start to get towards that McCarthy-Sullivan range, that's when you start to get guys that you think, okay, there's a chance that we can get them to campus. It's more like 50-50. I think the guy that is most likely to make it to campus, to me, the one, or at least I would say most exciting, or it would be very important if they can get him to campus, would be Jake McCoy. Of course, he's coming off of injury, so he would benefit big time from having a year with Tennessee. He's got really, really good stuff, really good fastball, really good slider. So I think once you start to get towards that Caden McCarthy range, those are the high school guys that you would expect that would probably start to make it to campus. With the other guys like Ford and Wright, they're probably going to end up getting drafted, and then they're probably going to move on. Look for the high school guys starting around McCarthy to go. But as for, players who have been in the college game for a few years that, are part of the draft, McCoy to me would be, the biggest and the one that I would expect to make to campus.
When do they have to? I mean, they can get drafted and still come back to school, right?
That is correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
So there's no cutoff for these guys, like you get in the NBA or whatever,
Yeah.
There's no, so just because these guys get drafted doesn't mean, hey, they may realize, hey, there's a lockout, I'm going to go to school.
Correct. Now, the other thing, too, is that...
But like other guys, like if they want these guys, but it's past the deadline.
Yeah.
Because then can guys enter the portal, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
Portal closes today.
Right.
What is it? I saw Cameron Flukie from, I think it was Coastal Carolina. He's going to be like a first. He's the 11th overall prospect. Yeah. He entered the transfer portal, but there's like a 0% chance he's going to get to campus wherever it is that he does go. But he entered the transfer portal just because why not? In case I don't like the deal that I'm being offered, I can just go to campus and then come back and then make my slot deal next year and be a top 10 pick. But to me, one of the things that's nice again about the draft is that these guys get drafted and then they negotiate with their clubs, and then the teams can either sign them and then they get them into the minor league system. And the minor league system, I believe, if I Googled it correctly, the minor league baseball would continue next year because they have a different.
So they don't fall into the MLB.
Yes. So if Major League Baseball is locked out, minor league baseball, I believe, will continue because they have their own collective bargaining agreement. But with these guys, it's just a question of, do they see a better future for themselves in college, or do they see for themselves a better future, in minor league baseball. Like I said, that's where I think, you guys like McCarthy and Sullivan and Kenninger and Dugan.
Because what was Appenzell was top 100, right?
I believe so. Yeah,
we got him.
Yeah.
Got him to school.
Yeah, and I think,
so that's
yep.
That's why you're optimistic about some of these guys.
And again, the one thing that gives you hope, I think I brought this up a couple weeks ago. What was it? Dylan Volantis was drafted by the A's 20th overall a couple years ago, straight out of high school, and he still went to Texas.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Grinlinger does kind of fall to that 20-25 range, I mean, there is a chance that he could end up saying, hey Trent, how is it out there?
My brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna play with you for a year. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you could get the other Grinlinger to campus, that would be huge. Obviously, he's the number one guy on the board per this MLB pipeline draft.
I guess
board.
you have to keep recruiting, and you can't
well, that's the thing. Yeah,
and I know was it last week that news came out with MLB and the draft, and they were saying
I don't like any of that nonsense.
I don't know. You guys may have talked about it, but now is Grimmer, is he draft eligible? Because I find it shocking he's not in the top 500.
Grimmer, I believe, is draft eligible. Yeah,
I think that's crazy. He's not on top 500 player.
Yeah,
I mean he's arguably one of our best players. I mean,
yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a huge win. I mean, seems like he'd be back in school.
Yep.
What about you, Caleb? When you look at this group, who do you anticipate could possibly make it to campus, and who's one guy maybe that you want to get to campus or want to stick around in Knoxville?
Obviously, I mean, my first guy is McCoy. I mean, as far as just guys that have a potential of coming back, I mean, I think a lot of these guys, like Connor said, it's fantasy for a lot of these guys to make this decision to come back to school. But baseball is a little bit interesting as far as comparing it to other sports, because with the minor league system, I mean, as far as NIL goes, we can definitely compete with what these guys would make in some of these farm systems. So it's kind of interesting. Like he said, the 20th overall pick ends up going back to school. So it's kind of just up to the player, whatever he wants to do. If he wants to come back to school and get a little bit more coaching. I mean, sometimes playing at these college programs, not only just the money aspect. I mean, if you go single A baseball, I mean, you'd be playing in front of more fans and probably have better coaching than you would going back to school. So I mean, being in school, you'd have better coaching and playing in front of more people. So baseball's a weird sport because, I mean, you don't know where you're going to get placed as far as the farm system goes. You can start out in single, double, or even triple. Sometimes you see guys start out and just right in triple, but you'd like to see a McCoy get to campus just because of his ceiling and what he can be. Another thing, this broke right as we probably about 5 to 10 minutes before he came on air. Manny Marin's going to Arkansas. How many of you guys saw that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Him.
I think that's the second player we've had go to Arkansas.
Who cares?
We got a better shortstop coming in.
Yeah, had a couple of guys go the SEC route, but best of luck to him. I thought Marin was more so pulling a kind of a leverage play of wanting to go to the draft, but also entering the portal, see what he could get done. I imagine the Hogs paid him a fair amount of money, and he's a really good player in the field. Now, his big flaw is at the plate, and if he's able to get better at that, I mean, he's most certainly an MLB draft prospect here in the future, but he's got to refine his game most certainly. And I think Tennessee did get the better in the transfer portal with a solid group. But speaking of that portal class, Jake McCoy, the only draft risk on this top 200 list for Tennessee. So you imagine you'll get everyone you sign. But what about Jake McCoy specifically? Do you guys believe he will head to the draft, or he might stick around for another year of college?
I think he could really benefit from another year of college. I think, coming off of an injury, there's always a concern there. We know what he can be. Again, you look at his Cape Cod stats last year, it was a sub 1.5 earned run average, and he really cut down on the walks, and the free passes was a concern. 3 walks and 3 hit by pitches to just, I think, and then to 25 strikeouts. So you know what he can be. But the question to me is what is he going to be coming off of that injury? And I think that's why it makes a lot of sense for him to come to campus to me, because I think he has the upside of a weekend starter. He could be that Sunday guy. And if he pitches really, really well, if he cuts down on his strikeout rate and gets his command in line, I mean, I think he's a guy that could be a really, really effective pitcher, and he could really boost his draft stock with a really strong year for Tennessee. So I think he has a lot to gain, and from that perspective, that's why I think, unless some team gambles on him and says, we can develop you better, I think it makes a lot more sense for him to come to Tennessee.
Brett, what about you?
He played at South Carolina, right?
He did.
He did.
I can't think you'd want to go out, like, one, an injury, and two, playing for South Carolina.
Yeah.
Like, I think you'd want to enjoy yourself playing college baseball, an environment like Tennessee, possibly a weekend starter. I think him and Parker Detmers will battle for that possible last spot. He's also coming off an injury, but, man, I don't know. I don't know how I would feel, but as much, and I've never been in a position like these guys have to go play professionally. You don't know what the guy's dreams are, but you got to think, like you said, knowing he has an injury, teams may skip him and may go undrafted. These are just all projections. So I don't know. You hope a guy like that, because you want an experienced arm in your rotation in the SEC. Like, you don't want to trust some of these freshmen that are highly drafted kids, but they may struggle their first year here. You saw Appenzeller got worn down towards the end of the season, but he's going to benefit greatly from coming to college, and he's going to be first-round draft pick probably next year or whenever he's draft eligible.
Yep.
All right, good stuff. When we come back on the other side, I will give my opinion of a recent transaction in the NBA that was between my Grizzlies and a team on the other side of the country. We'll discuss that when we return right here on the Playbook.
Catch up with all things Fan Run by subscribing to our podcast feed. Like, rate, and download the show from the Fan Run app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jacob Wilco at Knoxville Smiles. Have you ever wanted to improve the look of your smile? We know firsthand what the power of a great smile means to a person's confidence and health. Our team of doctors can provide you with an array of options for helping you achieve your cosmetic goals. From simply moving teeth into a better position, to reversible cosmetic bonding, to full mouth implant-supported dentures. It is our goal to help patients feel good about their appearance while achieving optimal health. Want to learn more? Call us at 865-539-1776 to schedule an evaluation, or visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com.
Hi, this is Bo Kregner from the Kregner Group at Realty Executives, and I know there's a lot of choices here in East Tennessee when it comes to choosing a realtor. Here's why the Kregner Group is different. At the Kregner Group, our motto is walking by faith, serving others. It's how I live my life. It's how I run my business. Here at the Kregner Group, we're committed to doing real estate the right way. Faith, honesty, integrity. The Kregner Group. Call me anytime at 865-742-1035 or visit my website at bonoshouses.com.
Welcome to Axle Logistics, where excellence isn't just a goal, it's an energy. As a leading third-party logistics company, Axle is powered by an award-winning culture built on a work hard, play hard mentality. Here, the drive for success is contagious and hard work never goes unnoticed. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, Axle Logistics is the place to launch your career. Join us and take your ambition to the stars. To learn more, visit axlelogistics.com.
All right, back here on the Playbook, a little bit.
Sounds sad.
Well, yes. If you guys joined me back in February, we got through this one time, and really over the last year and a half, it's always kind of been somewhat in the balance, a possibility of Ja Morant getting traded. If you guys know me well, you know I'm from Memphis, and know I'm a very big Grizzlies fan. It's always been a part of my life, and Ja Morant was by far my favorite player that we've had. And I know there have been a lot of great ones. William, how could you like Ja over a Mike Conley or a Zebo or a Marc Gasol? And I loved all those guys, and I love the grit and grind era. But sometimes, the power of sports can truly be incredible, and you root for your favorite teams and favorite players. And over time, that passion can turn into an emotional connection. With certain players, it feels unbreakable, right? And to truly be a fan, you have to experience it all. The highest of the highs, the grit and grind era, the lowest of the lows, where you've got, Wade Baldwin chucking up threes at half court so the fans can go home with KFC because you got over 100 points. That was back in 2017. Like, you have to experience it all. But there have been plenty of players, plenty of teams that I've loved in the Grizzlies franchise, but there's never been a guy that I've had more of a deeper connection with than Ja Morant. And growing up, I always wanted to be a season ticket holder. And, we would buy packages, my family and I, like 12 games, whatever it may be. But I was 16 years old. I was working at Cutco Knives You guys might have heard that before. And, I had just got in a car, was doing the Cutco gig, and I wanted to get enough money that summer to buy season tickets. So I go to the draft party back in 2018 or 2019, whatever it was, 2019. And John Morant gets selected. They announce, and this was at the FedEx Forum, by the way. They announce the next 10 people that buy season tickets get a John Morant jersey and get to meet him tomorrow. So I raced down and bought my season tickets. Youngest season ticket holder in Grizzlies history, 16 years old.
Nice.
And, that right there, that moment was awesome for me. It was something I always wanted to do. And then you got to meet him the next day. The thing about Ja that a lot of people don't know, he doesn't really take pictures with anyone and doesn't really, he's a very popular guy. Everyone wanted his autograph. Everyone wants a picture. But I've got a picture from the day he got drafted, and not many people get pictures with him. So I always thought that was cool. But, from that moment on, and that season specifically, I got the opportunity to watch him quickly flourish. I remember it was a game in early November, or maybe late October, one of those. They play the Brooklyn Nets. And game's going down the wire. Morant has a couple of big shots, big layups at the cup, and then blocks Kyrie Irving's shot in regulation. It was a game-winning shot. Morant rejected it. And then in overtime, he dished it off to Jay Crowder at the end. Jay Crowder hit the three and won the game, buzzer beater. And that was the moment I knew John Morant was going to be a really special player. That year got axed because of COVID, but then they go to the bubble, and though the Grizzlies did not make it to the playoffs, they still played really well in the play-in game, and then the next year you play Utah and you make the playoffs, and it was a progressive climb, right? And I think the big thing for me was Memphis finally had a superstar. Mike Conley was a great player. Marc Gasol was a great player. Zach Randolph was a great player. They didn't have the superstar status.
They weren't all NBA, were they?
Well, Gasol was an all-star, all-NBA, and then,
Just didn't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gasol won Defensive Player of the Year. Some people think that one's a controversial one, but regardless, Memphis had a superstar, and it's very rare that a small market team has a guy like that. And, you just live through those moments, and then, I'm in college, a freshman, and the Grizzlies had one of the best years they've ever had, where they, beat the Timberwolves in the playoffs and then go up against the Warriors. But, like, those moments, those watch parties, watching those games, like, that type of stuff just still resonates with me. And it's probably because I'm out of college and wish I was still in that moment. But, from there, the rest was history for Ja. Like a superstar in a small market and a guy that, I just got to continually watch rise. Rookie of the Year, most improved player, playoff runs, all of that. And I will always root for him. I did not want to move off of him. I know there are a lot of different dynamics that a lot of people will bring up and say this, say that. But reality, when you're a small market star, the media is always going to form their own opinions and usually control what is said.
It seems like they're only looking at the negatives, right? As his last
and that is true.
Couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Like it seems to really outweigh what kind of player he was, the energy and the passion that he actually played with.
Yeah.
And things like he's had some of the most electrifying plays. And you remember at Murray State, when he's making his runs and stuff like that. So makes sense. And it's kind of why you wanted to draft Darius Acuff, because he had similarities to a guy like Ja, know. So, but so what did you ultimately make of Portland though, being you're not surprised, I guess?
I thought it was an interesting move for Portland. They now got 4 guards on the team. I don't know how they want to handle that.
Yeah.
But I think a couple of people really showed their ass over the last couple of months, particularly the entertainment people at ESPN that get up there and act like they have sources. Kendrick Perkins is a dumbass, has no sources at all, and no one is tuning in to hear his opinion on any reporting. If you want to listen to reporters, I'll listen to Sham Charania, Ramon Shelbourne, or Marcus J. Spears. Yeah. Those guys have sources. Kendrick Perkins has no one and gets up there and acts like he does. Yeah. So all these months of saying the Grizzlies had to attach picks and all that crap, that clearly wasn't the case. And, while Jeremy Grant is not a huge asset, I mean, it's still a guy that, averaged 19 points a night last year on 38% shooting from three.
Veteran. You need those.
A solid player. But it wasn't the Grizzlies attaching picks just to get off of them. So
I like what the Grizzlies have done so far.
Yeah, I mean, look, had a lot of arguments last night with my Grizzlies people. A lot of my friends are over him and ready to go. But my thing is this: I'll always be a fan of Ja. I'll always root for him. I wanted him to stay in Memphis, especially with the current roster you have. You don't have a point guard. I didn't really feel like he needed to move off of him. I just feel like it was more of a Zach Kleiman issue, and that's a conversation for another day.
So do you feel a bounce back coming for him?
Oh, I know what's going to happen this year, and everyone does too. Everyone knows what's going to happen this year. And that's the thing that...
Are you going to be there for his return to Memphis?
Yes, I will. I'm going to try to divvy up enough
Whenever
money.
the schedule comes out?
Yeah, I'll be courtside. I'll be right there with a thank you 12 shirt.
So is it Trevor then Ja, or is it Ja Trevor on your pecking order?
Ja's always been ahead of Trevor, but Trevor's my football guy.
Yeah,
Trevor doesn't have the tenure.
But I mean, but also I've got the most emotional connection with
Ja.
With Ja,
That's fair. Yeah.
So
gotcha.
All right, that's my piece on 12. Really upset, and I will say about threw.
So
up.
is that picture you posted online? Is that from the draft night?
It's from the draft. Yeah, from the next morning.
Gotcha. Pretty cool.
Well, you got to jump in my boat. Whenever my guys leave, I just follow them where they go, and it makes it hurt less.
See, I can't. I'm a Grizzlies guy. I've got to stick with the Grizz.
Yeah.
I will always cheer for Ja, though. I mean, I want him to do well.
Yeah.
And I hope he does well, because I want Zach Kleiman to realize how much of a dumbass he is.
I'm in the market for a new NBA team. Just got to wait for LeBron to tell me who.
Kendrick Perkins. He's an entertainer, not a reporter.
Agreed.
When we come back, other side, we'll flip over to Tennessee football. Josh Heupel tabbed as the number 1 play caller in the SEC. We'll also have roles reversed, tables turned, trivia. Stay right here. It's hour 2 on the way.
Follow us on Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it these days at Fox Sports Knox, Fox Sports Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand, when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
Smoky Mountain Brewery is the place to be for game day. From the moment you walk in, it's wall-to-wall big screens, making Smoky Mountain Brewery the perfect place to watch the Vols or your favorite team in action. With locations in Turkey Creek, Maryville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg, you're never far away from a great time at Smoky Mountain Brewery. Try one of their world-famous microbrews like Black Bear Ale, Mountain Light, or Cherokee Ale. Juicy burgers, wings that bring the heat, and delicious handmade pizzas made with hand-tossed crust from the freshest ingredients and their own special sauce from a secret recipe, topped off with hand-grated cheese and farm-fresh toppings. And don't forget, those famous microbrews are also available in kegs for your next party or in 6-packs and growlers to go. So grab your crew and head to Smoky Mountain Brewery and tell them Fan Run Radio sent you. Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
Here we go. Hour number 2 on a Tuesday, live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. It's the Playbook on Fan Run Radio. Caleb DeBusk, Brett Hullander, and Connor Whitney joining you. I'm William Patterson. Great stuff in hour number 1. We'll continue it here in hour number 2 as we talk Josh Heupel being tabbed as the number 1 play caller in the SEC. Do we believe that? And should Heupel persist in calling plays and during the 2026 season? I've got an interesting parallel we can discuss, and then we'll have our tables turned trivia. The guys ask me the college football questions, and then our final thoughts. We'll talk LBJ splitting up with the LA Lakers and what that entails for his future. So good stuff in hour 1. We'll bounce right back into it as Josh Heupel was tabbed as the best in the biz in terms of coaching and calling the plays in the SEC. In Josh Heupel's coaching career, he has been known to be one of the better play callers in the sport, especially offensively. He brought that dynamic Central Florida offense to Knoxville back in 2021. And he's orchestrated some of the top offenses over the years, including last year's group that was top 10 in the country. And you had a Joey Aguilar, a kid that was playing at Appalachian State, come in and lead the SEC in passing yards in the regular season. So he clearly has a knack for offense, and that's never really been able to be disputed. But there have been some questions as to whether he should continue calling plays or have someone else take on that role so that he could focus on the game management, something that Heupel has kind of struggled with at times during his time in Knoxville. But with a reputation as one of the best offensive minds in the sport, Heupel was tabbed as the number 1 offensive play caller in the SEC by Matrix Analytical on Monday. And we'll get into the first topic, the first question here, the one that really ties in the many of the storylines for Heupel is, do you believe Heupel should continue calling plays? Here's my thing with Heupel. I think he is a great offensive mind. I don't need to tell you that. You already know it. We already know it. And the numbers are representative of that. But I think in important games, he can sometimes get a little over his skis and lose track of the game flow and lose track of what's going on. You know, there are multiple examples this past season where you had a possession or two that were really flat or, were bad, bad timing in terms of getting off the field really quick, allowing another team to have another opportunity, or not taking advantage of sitting on the football against a Georgia in the fourth quarter. Obviously, the end of the first half against Alabama was questionable. The end of the Mississippi State regulation period was interesting. There have been multiple occurrences during Josh Heupel's time where it's like, whoa, you got timeouts. You should have probably burned one there. Vanderbilt, Tennessee this year in the first half. Allow the Commodores to waltz into the end zone with no time remaining, even though you had timeouts to go. So I think Heupel is one of the best play callers in the conference, and I think that's indicative of the fact that he has been here since 2021 and has given you top-tier offenses multiple different years in a row and sometimes had some gaps in between. That shows that even throughout some adjustments that have been made defensively, whether it be an odd front or, just better personnel in the conference, he has still found ways to work. If he were not a good play caller, 2022 would have been a fun year, and then everything else would have been mid-60s in terms of the college football world. But last year, another example, having a quarterback that got in and down in late May, comes in and leads the SEC in passing. That's an example of a really good play caller. But what I think Heupel needs to realize is that he's also got to become a better game manager, and it might take either hiring a game manager coach or, maybe having someone else call the plays. And, that might be something you have to look at. What do you value more? Do you value the offense more, or do you value game situations against big opponents in big spots? I think I would value the offense more overall, but you can't have a coach that is trying to do a little bit of both. Brent Venables was trying to do a little bit of both at Oklahoma until last year. Last year, he went back to the defensive side of the football, and the Sooners had one of the best defenses in the country, made the college football playoff. He took that step back and focused on just one side. Wasn't trying to play the role of head coach and the defensive coordinator. I think if Heupel's going to be the offensive guy, you've got to have another guy on the staff that can make those decisive decisions in the important moments. And right now, Tennessee doesn't really have that. So I think he should continue calling the plays, but I would really consider getting another guy to start maybe calling the shots. I don't know how you want to phrase it. A game manager coach, a GMC.
Do you think he adjusted though from from like maybe 24 to like 25 and 26? Like he brought in more motion and different
he did.
The route running things. So he has shown glimpses of innovating his offense. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah, because defense had figured out his offense, and he hadn't adjusted to that, and things like that. So, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. I mean,
I just wanted to ask the question while I was thinking on it.
But he can't. But he has adjusted. And I think last year was an example. That first game against Syracuse, you saw a ton of different looks, a ton of different motions. I think he could most certainly adjust, but he hasn't necessarily adjusted to handling both, and that's what I think he's faced with and should consider this upcoming season. Let's just focus on offense. That's what I know. We'll get an associate head coach, and he'll handle the other stuff. Doesn't look like you have one currently on the roster or the staff, but I would consider adding one, because at the end of the day, the offense can be great, but if you're not winning in the very specific moments of the game that ultimately dictate the outcome of whether you win or lose, then what you do on offense can sometimes be obsolete.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like that's why I have him on the hot seat, because a head coach is more about just one side of the football. It's more than two sides of football. It's a full team. It's a full coaching staff, things like that. And he's shown, that he doesn't pay attention to the little things. He's not a real rah-rah guy like a lot of guys you might want and things like that. He's kind of just who he is. You see that in the press conferences and things like that. Like, I still think there's room he could adjust. I'd like to see maybe occasionally, hey, let's put 5 wide out there. Let's spread them out even more than we already do. It's just different things like that maybe, he could show improvements on as well. But I don't know. You got to applaud what he's done, I guess, offensively. He's changed it the way to where a ton of other colleges and teams are playing almost Tennessee style football.
Now, the top spots on the list, just behind Heupel: Alabama offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb, Vanderbilt offensive coordinator Tim Beck, Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian, LSU head coach Lane Kiffin. Those were the 5 in order. UT will play Alabama, Texas, Vanderbilt, and LSU this upcoming season, so they'll get a crack at all those good play callers. But going back to that topic, Caleb, of discussing kind of balancing the offense in addition to the game management, how can Heupel become a better time manager this season?
Yeah, I think I've stated this opinion before, but I think the answer to it is definitely not him not calling plays. He needs to continue calling the offensive plays. I think that's what his bread and butter is. That's why he's gotten himself this far as the head coach of Tennessee. He needs to keep doing that. But I think he needs to hire a competent offensive coordinator. I think if any Tennessee fan out there wants him to stop calling plays, I want you to imagine a season where Joey Halzle calls every offensive play and imagine how that season ends. I don't think this is not a knock on Joey Halzle. He's a great quarterbacks coach. He's not an offensive coordinator. We need to go out and hire a competent offensive coordinator, because we saw in 22. I mean, the game management against Bama in 22 is some of the best I've seen. It's not so much bringing in an offensive coordinator to call the offensive plays. It's bringing in somebody who knows the offense, who's competent enough to call plays and take and shoulder some of the weight off Josh Heupel. I think Josh Heupel needs to maintain the role of primarily being the offensive play caller, but I think he needs a secondary guy in there who he trusts to shoulder the weight of the play calling when need be. I mean, I'm also another thing. I'm shocked Elko's not in the top 5 of play calling. He's a great defensive play caller. I'm shocked he's not in the top 5 there. I think he should be. But Grubb. I understand Grubb being there. I don't understand the Vanderbilt guy's a little questionable. I think Elko should be in there ahead of him. But just back on the topic of just Heupel, I think he needs to hire a real offensive coordinator who's able to shoulder some of the weight of the play calling when the time calls for it in the game.
I think it's just the offensive play callers.
Just offensive?
Yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, because you look, I mean, Grubb, offense, back offense. So I think all the guys are offense.
Okay, that makes more sense then.
But, I mean, if this were defense included, Brent Venables would most certainly be up there for me. Mike Elko would as well. But I think this is just offense. But Josh Heupel getting the best offensive play caller tag in the SEC amongst Lane Kiffin and Steve Sarkisian, some guys that might have higher expectations this year, I still think is.
I mean, do you agree with the rating, him being number one, or is it just the fact you can make an argument for him to be number one?
Well, I think I'm surprised that, and these are.
I feel like those other guys are better at big game, big moment situations, right?
I wouldn't say that necessarily with Kiffin.
Okay,
but this is based on analytics, so it's not necessarily opinion. It's more of the
numbers say.
Yes,
yeah,
the numbers say specifically. But with Kiffin, like he did beat Georgia and Oxford, sure. He beat Oklahoma on the road last year. That was his first ranked win in the SEC on the road, by the way. But outside of that, he doesn't have a number of big-time wins. It was usually big-time fallouts in big spots.
Do you think Heupel, though, a lot of the numbers are skewed? Because, I mean, a lot of them are inflated by we go out and put up 600 yards in some of these small teams or against Mississippi State or something like that.
But,
I mean, I know we did against Georgia.
But so does an LSU, so does an Alabama, or so does, an Alabama did the same thing against Louisiana Monroe and Eastern Michigan last year. Texas, I mean, you had Arch Manning standing over Sam Houston's players. Sam Houston's the worst team in football last year. LSU or Ole Miss, I mean, Ole Miss used to always put up points on teams. So I don't think it's just a Tennessee thing that they do that, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, you can go farther. Like, I feel like Will Stein could have been on the list, but I mean, maybe it's just head coaches. I don't know.
Well, turning to this season, the expectation is that Heupel will conduct another strong offense for the Volunteers. He's going to be starting, however, a brand new quarterback, whether that be redshirt freshman George McIntyre or true freshman Faison Brandon, or maybe you're in la-la land enough to believe Ryan Staub will be the starter, the transfer from Colorado. But what I wanted to bring to the table today is the fact that Dylan Gabriel at Central Florida is the only true freshman to start under Josh Heupel in an offense since he's been a head coach. We presume that's going to be Faison Brandon this year, so he's going to break the streak. And I brought up these numbers as we talk about what could be on display this year for Brandon. Gabriel in that 2017 season for the Knights, 3,653 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Now, Nico Iamaleava was a redshirt freshman back in 2024, but he still posted 2,616 yards, 19 touchdowns, 5 INTs, and 3 rushing touchdowns. So when you hear those numbers, Connor, are these achievable for a Faison Brandon? Now, Dylan Gabriel did this in the American. I get it. Much different. Nico, I think that offense was really inconsistent because of his inability to get it down the field with the deep ball. We'll see how good Faison Brandon is with that. But that was a team predicated on the defense and Dylan Sampson. So when you look at these numbers, obviously Gabriel, you have to take into account it was in the American. With Nico, it was a lot of his inability to get it done down the field. But are these numbers achievable for a Faison Brandon, Connor?
The Dylan Gabriel, that's fantasy, I think. Nico, 2,600 yards. I think it's plausible that Faison Brandon can get to 2,600 yards if he can keep it to 5 INTs. I mean, that's great. I don't think it's unreasonable to suggest that he could get at least 20 touchdowns and at least 3 rushing touchdowns. So I don't think the touchdown numbers are unattainable. The question to me is what is the completion percentage look like, and then what does the turnover look like? Those are the big numbers. So I think 2,600 yards is certainly very achievable. I think the closer he gets to like 3,000 yards, the more that tells you that he's growing, he's coming into his own, and he's developing as the season goes along. I think outperforming Nico is very much on the table. As for what that could mean for Tennessee going forward this year, I don't know how much that really says, because this year's defense isn't going to be as good as that year's defense.
Mm-hmm.
So the big thing is how much further past Nico can he get, to me, because I think he can certainly get past Nico.
Chicken Chow Fun on the chat. What percentage of Nico's production was against SEC opponents? He had one conference game with more than one touchdown. So he had 8 total touchdowns in the air in SEC games, 3 INTs. But again, that offense was mostly predicated on a Dylan Sampson. But again, I think it was pretty important, though, that year he only threw 5 interceptions, only turned the ball over 5 times. At the end of the day, Faison Brandon doesn't have to be the Heisman Trophy winner. He just has to be a guy that protects the football. And while Nico did not hit the ball down the field very often, he didn't turn the ball over. And I think that was still a big reason why Tennessee was able to win games, because the lack of field position for the opposing team really helped Tennessee continue to put teams in tough spots, rely on that defense, and then chip away offensively.
And it was interesting because last year Joey was able to push the ball down the field, but there was also a lot more risk-taking and there were a lot more turnovers as well. So the question is going to be, because I think you're going to have guys that are open down the field. Can Faison hit them? Can he consistently get that explosive play down the field without, turning the ball over or making that bad decision? How quickly can he, mitigate those risks while also having the confidence to push the ball down the field and actually hitting those balls down the field?
Buck goes, Will, tell us what you have seen that gives you confidence that Heupel will do anything with Faison. What's your metric? Well, the metrics that I read off a bit ago are not my own. They come from SEC. Hold on, let me pull it up. SEC Matrix Analytics, and that's a database online. And this just judges a number of different variables in terms of yards per play, yards a game, and all the different things. How many expected points were there, all of that. Those numbers are not mine. But in terms of my own prediction for Faison, this is what I would say. I think that if Heupel can continue his track record of having quarterbacks that take care of the football, maybe Joe Milton was a little bit of an absent to the mean there. But again, out of the 6 years he's been here, you've had Joey Aguilar come over from Appalachian State, for the most part, protect the football. A couple of interceptions here and there that were maybe costly, I get, but it wasn't like he was a turnover machine and, putting you in harm's way play after play. Sometimes it was just the receivers would bat the ball up in the air and get deflected, So with Nico, he took care of the ball. He was horrible down the field. He was a 10% guy on those deep shots. For a true freshman quarterback, I don't imagine Heupel's going to be zipping Faison down the field very often early in the season. Kind of have those training wheels on. But I think that's why he is a valuable coach in this situation, because he has been in that spot before as a former college quarterback. He has also seen a number of different guys in a Faison Brandon type of spot and knows how to kind of get them acclimated. So I think if early in the season it's a lot of low-risk plays, over time you'll start to see stuff implemented where here's a more difficult ball down the field. Here's a deep shot. Here's this. Here's that. I think you just got to ease him into it, because if you throw him out there and he throws a bunch of picks, then he's going to mess up his head. And then he's not going to want to throw, and then you're going to have a situation of, we don't have a quarterback any longer. And that's what it is. I'm serious. If you throw a guy out against Georgia Tech and he throws 3 or 4 interceptions, that's going to mess with his mental. The big reason why we believe Faison Brandon will start is because of the mental for George McIntyre right now in practice. At least, from what I have heard, he gets kind of called on to and then starts second-guessing himself. Can't second-guess yourself when you're in charge of the team on the field, right?
And you hope you don't have to throw it, 30 times, right? You hoping you're at least keeping the games close where you're still staying balanced and you're not forcing the ball into Faison's hands and things like that. Like, that was the thing about Nico. Like, we had like 3 games where we didn't even score in the first half, but we were still in the game because he wasn't turning the ball over and our defense was really good.
Mhm.
I don't know if Faison's going to have that luxury this year with some of the teams we're playing against.
Sure. Buck says, my metrics are regression since 22. Couldn't correct Joey. Hasn't developed a quarterback. On that latter point, well, Nico Amaliato was
And
supposed
Nico,
to
if
be
I'm not mistaken, would hold the ball too long. Like, he got sacked, I think, almost 30 times that year.
Nico was just scared to turn the ball over. That's why that's why he looked as bad as he did at times, is he was terrified to throw an interception, and that's why he didn't throw that many, because he didn't take many risks.
That one too, so.
Like I remember like coming to Neyland Stadium for my first ever Tennessee football game, and it was the third Saturday in October. I can't remember how many times there was somebody sprinting free through the Alabama secondary with at least 2 or 3 steps. Easy touchdowns if you can hit them in the bucket. Joey would hit those, and Nico wasn't even close to hitting those guys.
Yeah, Nico was a 10% guy, in my opinion. Hendon Hooker, the best you've had in the Josh Heupel offense, a 75% guy. I'd say Joey last year was a 50. I'd say he was a 50-50 guy. 50% of the time he'd get it down the field. But, hey, if Nico didn't want to throw it, I know who could. Gas pipe, that guy. Hey, gas pipe was coming. He was coming in and throwing it.
Arm punch.
He was coming in and throwing it. He got one shot. I love him for it.
First play, what game was it? He just came in,
Alabama.
It was a Bama game.
It was
Alabama. That's what I'm saying.
He came in. It was
Heaved it up in the air. Malachi Moore.
Whole crowd was moaning because Nico couldn't get down the field. Gas pipe said, "All right, I'll fix it."
It's 3rd and 15, and he just like
arm punch, man.
I'll say this, Will, about Dylan Gabriel. I think Faison. I think Faison has a higher ceiling. I know Dylan Gabriel did what he did, but if everything we're hearing about Faison is to be believed, I think he has just as high, if not higher, ceiling than Dylan Gabriel had. And I mean, I think with some of these teams that we're playing this year, I mean, we're like an Arkansas, an Auburn, a South Carolina, Kentucky. I mean, these are all going to be teams that either Kentucky's got a first-year head coach, Auburn's got a first-year head coach, Arkansas's got a first-year head coach, South Carolina's probably not going to have a head coach when we play them. Like, I think there's a really good chance for us to play some really bad defenses this year, regardless of the top echelon teams that we do play, like a Texas or a Alabama or an A&M. And I'll say this about the 24 team with Nico. I think we played a lot of bad teams that year as well.
You did.
I think the reason that our defense was so good on paper that year is because we played a lot of abysmal offenses. I mean, the 2 good offenses we played, Georgia and Ohio State, we gave up 32 and 42 points respectively to those teams, and we couldn't stop molasses in wintertime against Ohio State. I mean, Alabama did not have Jalen Milroe, I mean, I don't know why they loved that guy so much. He was a really bad quarterback. Oklahoma's offense was pathetic. Arkansas, I mean, they beat us, but they only scored 19 points. Their offense was not very good that year. And just like, I think that 24 defense was really overhyped, really inflated by numbers. And I think this year's defense has a really good shot to be better than that 24 defense. And I've held that opinion, and I've said that multiple times on this show, but I think that 24 defense is really overhyped. And I think we have a really good shot to have a better defense than that.
That's a strong opinion. That was a good group back in 24. You like the transfer additions you added in this season, but I will say I think the talent and the size on that line of scrimmage was much better. And you could go about 11 guys deep in 2024. Don't know if you're going to have that this year. Real quick for Buck, he did not develop Nico. How did he do last year, even after leaving? I wasn't saying he developed him. I was just saying that he didn't have the chance to after Nico left. So even if he had last year, we wouldn't have known. But
Buck said he didn't develop Joey, but Joey led the SEC in passing yards. And how many interceptions did he throw at App State?
He had multiple years of either 14 plus, 15 plus. So
and
he had the most coming into college football last year.
Yeah, and he only threw 10, and I would say half of those were Miles Kitzelman just throwing a jump ball.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, it's Tables Turned Trivia. The guys will ask me the college football questions. We'll also hit on LeBron James and our final thoughts. Stay right here. It's the Playbook on Fan Run Radio.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Are you ready for the start of a new season? Maybe looking for your team to go on a tournament run? Get game day ready with Crumble. Head on over to your nearest location and pick up 12 pre-selected cookies plus exclusive toppers. When you're looking for dessert options, there's no question about who you should call on. Our listeners already know. Last year, the Dubai chocolate was a home run, along with the brownie batter. Oreo crumb was another crowd favorite. What new flavor will set the standard this season? If you're in the Knoxville area, there are 3 locations ready to serve you: Clinton Highway, Parkside Drive, and Maryville. Download the Crumble app to build your best lineup and vote on the best combos. You can even put your bid in to request a new flavor. Order in the app and slide on over to your nearest location. Tell them Fan Run sent you, and as always, it's for the fans, by the fans. Don't miss the cookies.
White Claw is taking hard seltzer to new heights with White Claw Surge. At 8% alcohol, White Claw Surge is a stronger wave of refreshment that doesn't compromise on taste. Available in 4 bold waves of flavor like ripe blackberry, citrusy blood orange, zesty natural lime, and tart cranberry. Check out your favorite retailer in-store and online for the White Claw Surge Variety 12-pack and 16-ounce single-serve cans. White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jacob Wilco at Knoxville Smiles. Have you ever wanted to improve the look of your smile? We know firsthand what the power of a great smile means to a person's confidence and health. Our team of doctors can provide you with an array of options for helping you achieve your cosmetic goals. From simply moving teeth into a better position, to reversible cosmetic bonding, to full mouth implant-supported dentures. It is our goal to help patients feel good about their appearance while achieving optimal health. Want to learn more? Call us at 865-539-1776 to schedule an evaluation, or visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
Fan Run Radio, the flagship station for Tennessee fans.
This ain't no wishy-washy, limp-wristed, kale-eating, half-ass sports radio station.
We're your in-your-face, truth-telling, say it loud, flag-waving, face-painting, hardcore, bring the noise, causing a ruckus, don't give a damn sports station.
Sports talk that doesn't just hang up and listen.
For the fans. This is Fan Run Radio. Get some.
All right, back here on the Playbook. Time for Tables Turned Trivia, College Football Edition. I asked the questions on Thursday. Today they get their chance to get back at me. So I guess, Caleb, can you be our official scorer?
Yeah,
okay.
I got you.
Okay, keep track. Connor, I was very inclined to look up the Tennessee punting history this morning, but
No,
decided to wait.
No.
You
would have been wasting your time.
Yeah. So let's hope my late night finds of Ja Morant in Game 3.
They did tell me he missed Jeff Hall or something. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, but
Will Hoyt before he got Hall.
Well, hey,
I was
Will
waiting
Hoyt's
for.
probably more.
I was camping out for Aaron Medley. I never got an Aaron Medley question. I really wanted to hear
No
2015
Samaglia either.
Yeah,
Maglia, yeah.
There's some other ones I knew.
Oh,
I
we had
just,
so many kickers. You forget how many kickers you actually go through.
well, I know, and I'm also not. I wasn't.
You weren't born.
I wasn't popping off 1998 off the top of my head. I mean, there's one there.
No
All right,
there you go.
let's hear the
You learn
categories.
something when you play these games too.
I know that is true. Here are the categories. What you got?
My first category is famous Tennessee play-by-play calls. This includes calls from the national broadcast on TV, and there's some Vol Network calls in here as well.
Okay, all right.
I'll give you the call, and you got to guess the game.
Okay.
Get bonus points if you say who called it. But
okay.
Then I got famous UT role players. This is across all sports: football, basketball, and baseball.
All right, Connor, what you got?
Okay, so we're gonna do national championship losing quarterbacks since 2000.
Oh, okay.
Some of these should be fine. And then the SEC champion. So questions about the SEC championship game and the history of the SEC championship game.
Okay, I like the SEC championship game.
Yeah, it should be up your alley. You've been to many of them.
I know. All right, Brett, what do you got?
I just did a general college football trivia, so not one particular category, just 5 questions, 1 to 5 level difficulty, just kind of just basic stuff, but a general category for college football.
Cool. All right, let's get into it. Caleb, I'll go your first. I'll do 1 for role players.
This UT basketball player is famous for his intense defense. He's most known for his game-winning buzzer beater against Alabama in
Jemai
2025.
Meshack.
Correct, Jemai Meshack.
That's a point.
You can't go scoreless. That's good.
All right, there you go. All right, we got
Pressure's
one.
off, man. Now.
All right, losing quarterbacks for one.
National championship losing quarterbacks. The 2021-22 national championship.
2021-22. What was that? Georgia and Alabama. Okay, that was.
Don't be nodding your head.
I gotta be nice to him at some point.
I guess that's true.
2021. I don't.
Do you know who won?
Well, Georgia won. Stetson
Okay.
Bennett was the winner,
Mm-hmm.
and they played Bama.
Okay.
Bryce Young.
That is correct.
Okay, cool.
Good job.
All right, for a second. I started thinking Tua. The Georgia Alabama game before that.
I thought about going in that era, but I decided against it.
All right.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it made me think for a second. It's okay. I got it. All right, Brett, to you for one.
What player was famously involved in the fake girlfriend catfish scandal?
Manti Te'o. I like that one. That's a good one, Brett. That's a good one. Yeah, Brent Mushberger on the call for that game. He was talking about AJ McCarron's
whose
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Should have been talking about Te'o.
I almost used that one.
Yeah. All right, role players for two.
All right. This UT athlete played basketball from 2019 to 2023. He was a 6'3" guard who was a pivotal sharpshooter for the Vols and received multiple All-SEC honors in the national award recognitions. He became only the second player in Tennessee program history, joining Chris Lofton, to make more than 100 3-pointers in a single season. He achieved this in the 2021 to 22 season.
All right, 2019 to 2023.
Yeah, he wore number 25.
Oh, Santiago Vescovi. Okay.
Is the numbers too easy?
Very detailed question. What?
Is the numbers too easy?
Would you have gotten it if he didn't say the number?
I would have had to think for a second. You said something about what did you say? What was the last thing about like a country? Did you say anything about his country?
I didn't say anything about where he was from.
Okay.
That number might help, but it's also was that a 2-pointer?
That was a 2-pointer.
I guess being a 2-pointer,
All right.
maybe you can get away with the number.
Four for four. Let's see what I got.
Are you keeping up his points?
Yeah, you got my points.
I got you.
You're doing fine.
All right.
All right, college losers.
2005-2006 national championship.
What was that? Texas and USC. That's Matt. It's either Matt Leinart or Carson Palmer. Matt Leinart.
That is correct.
Cool. Yeah, I watched
2-pointer.
Watched that game 2 months ago.
Hate Vince Young.
Reggie Bush, pants down moment. I can't believe he tried.
They
to
made
lateral.
so many terrible plays in
What
that
a game,
game.
though.
Good lord.
It was just incredibly sloppy.
Correct.
Vince Young was the winner of the game. All right, I got that part.
He sucks.
Number 2 to you, Brett.
Only player to win the Heisman Trophy twice.
Heisman Trophy twice. Wow.
I don't know if this might have been a little bit harder, but I don't know.
Old guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, I can give you the year if you want it.
Yeah, what's the year?
I want to say it's like 75, 76. I can give you the team, position.
Heisman Trophy twice. 1970s.
70s, yeah.
Running back.
Mm-hmm.
Conference Big 12.
Big 10.
70s. Jesus.
Might have been too hard for. I didn't know. I thought maybe you guys already even had this question anyway.
No. I mean, it's not, I don't know. I was thinking Eddie George. Eddie George was like in the 90s.
I just thought it would be something that's always brought up on Heisman broadcasts as well.
Yeah, I don't know it, to be honest.
Archie Griffin.
Ohio
State running back.
Okay. I was thinking Eddie George, but Eddie George was obviously way beyond that. First one, Brett got me. All right. Role players for 3.
This UT baseball player was a part of the 2024 national championship run, famously driving in the game-winning RBI, in which fans still argue should have been a home run.
What is this?
Number
8?
Number 25.
Oh, it was Blake Burke.
No, that's Kavaris Tears.
Kavaris Tears. Oh, no. Damn.
I think you got the number wrong. Blake Burke was 25.
Yeah, Burke was 25.
Tears was 21.
Tears was 21.
My Google told me 25. Okay.
Oh, you lied to.
Okay. I still got it wrong, though.
Should have been a home run. That was a home run.
Kavaris Tears was my guy.
Yeah.
It did hit above the yellow line. Or
but
whatever.
Blake Burke had a couple of big.
I mean,
big
yeah.
at-bats.
You could
That's
go
my
with
bad
a
on
lot
the
of
guys.
guys in the
thinking
dry
Dryling,
lane,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Friendly reminder that Blake Burke did not swing against Florida State.
That is true.
He did not go.
All right. That's 2 in a row I've missed. All right. What do you got, Connor, for 3?
National championship losers, 2013-2014 national championship game.
2013-14.
So last year of the BCS.
Nick Marshall.
Correct. 3 for 3.
Yeah, from Auburn. That was Jameis Winston.
So was that a 2-pointer or 3-pointer?
That was 3.
3-pointer.
That was the year with the parrot hair and the kick 6.
Yeah, Nick Marshall, legend.
Yep.
All right, Brett, for 3.
Who holds the record for most rush yards in a single game?
Single game.
You want the year?
Yeah, what's the year?
2014.
2014. Is that? Not
408 yards.
It wouldn't have been. No, Derrick Henry had 400. Or Derrick Henry had 46 carries against Auburn. That was a lot, but no.
Not Derrick Henry.
Is it a Pac-12 player?
Big Ten again.
Oh, Ezekiel Elliott?
No.
No.
Is that your guess?
Yeah, that's my guess. I missed it.
Melvin Gordon, Wisconsin, 2014. 408 yards against the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Melvin Gordon. Damn. All right. Role players.
This brother of famous NFL star played for the Vols from 2014 to 2017 and is known as one of the best kick returners in Tennessee history. He's most well known for
Evan Berry.
Correct.
Good job. Killing those categories.
Yeah.
Know your role, guys.
All right. Loser quarterbacks.
Where are we at? 4?
4.
2008, 2009 national championship game.
That's Florida, Oklahoma, correct? Sam Bradford.
There you go.
It's 4. Cool. Tebow won that one. 24-14, the final.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Obviously, they're getting harder. So, what 2 colleges did Troy Aikman attend?
UCLA.
I never knew he went to 2, to be honest, when I saw this.
I know he went to UCLA because he was talking about how he funded. He was the one that funded
about
Dante
number 8
Moore.
too, right? With Nico or something?
Yeah. Is it another California school?
No, Midwest.
Can I get a conference on this one?
Big 12.
UCLA and current Big 12?
No. I just probably just gave it away.
Okay. Used to be in the Big 12. I still don't have it. UCLA.
I thought that would have given it.
UCLA and I
got a 50-50 shot here.
Do I?
Yeah, I think I would have given it away by saying what I said. I feel I shouldn't have
used
done
to be in the Big 12?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, unless you don't.
UCLA and Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 2. Give me 2. Give me 2 for that. I knew UCLA.
I didn't know. Yeah, that's the only one I thought he went
Do you
to.
want?
I didn't know there was another one.
Give me 5 for role players.
Okay. This 6'1" guard transfer Tennessee wide receiver played for the Vols for only 1 season in 2021. He's famous for his first play touchdown against Kentucky and rarely getting production outside of the first quarter.
Velus Jones?
That's Javonte Payton.
Javonte Payton. Damn. Cool. All right. Almost went a clean sleep on that one. All right. Loser quarterbacks for 5.
2012, 2013.
2012, 2013. That was Alabama, LSU. No, that was this is gonna be Notre Dame. It was Notre Dame's quarterback.
They got blasted in this game.
Yeah,
right?
they did.
I can see him, but I can't think of his face.
It's not Brady Quinn. It's not. He's not a huge name, I don't think. 2012, 2013. For some reason, I'm thinking Connor Cook. Connor Cook played for
Michigan State.
Michigan State. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'll guess Brady Quinn. I know it's wrong though.
No, Everett Golson.
Everett Golson. Okay.
Yep.
All right, 4 out of 5 on that one.
I guess this is my last one.
Cool.
Who's the first man to win the Heisman and then also coach a national championship? A national champion coach.
Steve Spurrier.
Good job.
Cool. All right. Wow.
So you nailed my 5. Yep.
All right. What are my points looking at? If you don't have them added up, you're good. But.
You got that one right with him?
Yeah, so that's 5.
Okay, so we got.
And I got Connor's 5. Or I missed Connor's 5, but I got 4 out of the 5.
You got 24 at the moment.
Okay. All right. New category for you. Let me hear those calls.
All right. I'm gonna give you the quote. You got to give me the name.
You have sound?
Huh?
You have sound?
I could look up. I'm going to give you the quote. You got to give me the game it was played and the network. You don't have to give me the exact announcer, but you got to give me the network that it was called on.
All right, let's go.
Number 1 is On the Way, a Knuckleball. He got it.
All right, Tennessee, Alabama on ESPN. Or no, Tennessee, Alabama on CBS. I'm sorry, 2022.
Correct. Can you tell me who made the call?
That's Brad Nessler on the call. Correct. Gary Danielson.
Yep.
Ooh, man.
Who called it a whirly bird?
Whirly bird?
Yeah. His color guy called it a whirly bird.
Gary Danielson?
Not Gary Danielson. He was retired at this point.
Wait, what?
No. This is Gary Danielson. Danielson just retired. He just retired. For
2022 on the call for CBS
it was Danielson.
Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson. I thought you were asking the Vol.
No, you're right. You're right.
Now,
Vern Lundquist was the one who retired. I get those guys.
VFL, Charles Davis is taking over that.
Correct.
For Big Ten on
Really?
CBS. So this is SEC Championship game. Where do you want to start? One. All right. Where is the SEC Championship currently played?
The city or the venue? What do you want me
The
to say?
venue.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
There you go.
All right.
What's it called for the World Cup?
What is it? Atlanta
Georgia
Stadium.
Georgia
Stadium.
Boston. They call it Boston Stadium. Los Angeles Stadium. It's the dumbest thing.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You
right.
tore down the Georgia Dome.
You want the number 2?
Yes, 2.
All right. Number 2 is going to be high fly, deep right, and Tennessee walks it off.
High fly, deep right. Oh, shoot. High fly, deep right. Tennessee walks it off.
This is one of the most famous calls in Tennessee baseball history.
Oh, it was baseball. I'm thinking football.
Yeah, no, baseball. Sorry, I'll give you the sport.
It's awesome.
Is this Tennessee Wright State?
Yes.
And this is on ESPN or SEC Network.
SEC
whatever.
Network.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the moment again?
Tennessee Wright State.
Well, who hit the walk-off?
What is it? Andrew Gilbert.
Drew Gilbert.
Drew Gilbert.
But
Andrew.
Andrew
Gilbert,
okay.
That's his nickname.
Is his name Andrew? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So was his a 1-pointer or a 2-pointer?
Yeah,
mine was 1.
1-pointer.
Do you want the 2?
Yeah.
All right. First, I believe I have this correct. First and only time the SEC Championship game has gone to overtime. Give me the teams and just the teams.
Georgia and Alabama were close. Aaron Murray didn't get there. Did Georgia and LSU go? Trying to think. When did it? Is it? Can I ask how recent the time frame is?
It's pretty recent, I would say. Very recent.
Oh shoot! I was there for it. This is Georgia, Texas.
There you go. Yep.
Okay.
Final score of the game?
I don't remember that.
That's fine. 22-19.
I do remember that. That's when Stockton got his helmet popped off.
Yep.
Oh, that was
I was
crazy.
there for that. Okay. It took me a second. Georgia, Texas.
There you go.
All right. To you. 3.
All right.
2. Yeah, 3.
Durant switches out on him. He fires over the top out front. Good.
That's Chris Lofton over Durant. That's Tennessee, Texas, and that was on ESPN.
That's actually Bob Kessling's call on the Vol Network.
Oh, okay.
But I'll give you 2 points for it.
Tennessee, Texas. Okay. All right, Connor.
All right. Since the inception of the SEC Championship game, which team has won the SEC Championship game the most?
Alabama.
That's correct.
All right. Play calls for 4.
All right. The 2-2 to Denton. Well hit left field. It is gone.
This is Tennessee, Clemson, and the was it the regional back in 2023? Watch this at my place. That was on ESPN or ESPNU, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, correct. It's
Cool.
a 4-pointer.
All right. This is the most played matchup in the SEC Championship game.
Florida, Alabama.
Yep.
That was the first one, I believe, at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yep.
All right. 5 for the calls.
All right.
And you still got my points on that?
Yeah, I got
Okay,
you.
cool.
Got you lined up. This is what did he do? All he did was score. Joey Kent touchdown on play number 1.
Yeah, this is Tennessee, Alabama, first play of the game in 1996, I believe. Peyton Manning, Joey Kent. This is the late great John Ward on the call.
Correct.
For the
but
Vol Network.
It's going to be 1995.
1995. Damn. Okay.
But I'll give you the points for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Last one.
3 schools have been with the SEC since they created the conference championship games in 1992 and have never played in the championship game. Name all 3.
All right. So these are the original members.
The original members. So
we're not
this is not A&M. This is not Mizzou. Since 1992.
Since 1992. South Carolina's been there. Florida's been there. Georgia's been there. Tennessee's been there. Vanderbilt.
Is that an answer? Is that an official answer you're giving?
I'm talking out loud.
Okay.
Vanderbilt. There's no way. Kentucky. Maybe Kentucky's been. I don't know. I know South Carolina's been, despite how bad they are. Auburn's been. Now, are the original members, are we kind of
just since 1992?
LSU's been. Who am I mean, Vanderbilt, Kentucky. And these are my answers. Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and I feel like even Arkansas has been there. Didn't Arkansas and Tennessee play? Vanderbilt, Kentucky, who am I missing? South Carolina's played. Auburn's played. Bama's played. Georgia's played. Florida's played. Look at these helmets in front of me. Who am I missing? Oh, Mississippi State. Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Mississippi State.
Vanderbilt correct. Kentucky correct. Mississippi State is wrong.
We play. I know we play.
Because that was the team Tennessee beat with the Peerless Price touchdown in '98.
Was it Ole Miss? Is that the team?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Ole Miss.
Right state, wrong team. Ole Miss.
It's crazy. Ole Miss.
Ole Miss does have SEC championships. That's what messes me up.
Yeah,
I know they have.
This is since the inception of the championship game in '92.
Cool. All right.
45 is the total.
That's pretty good.
Kind of
Pretty
killed
good.
us
Good job.
today.
Yep.
All right. When we come back, we'll do the final Jeopardy and talk a little LBJ. Stay right here. It's Playbook on Fan Run Radio.
Congratulations. You found sports radio that doesn't suck. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Citizens National Bank.
Life is more fun with a Good Life account, offering extra benefits, including bank travel. Experience the trip of a lifetime to Ireland. Explore rolling green hills, historic castles, and charming villages across the Emerald Isle. Get in on the fun. Call 865-429-7935 today.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
All right, back here on the Playbook, wrapping things up. I got 45 points on the Tuesday trivia. Is that correct, Caleb?
45, yeah.
45. Okay. All right. I guess since I'm not going up against anyone, I'll just have a final Jeopardy question. I guess I could lose it all or gain it all here. Did you guys collab? All right, I will wager. I will wager 12 points.
I've got a question if y'all.
All right. Let's hear it.
I will wager 12 points. 12.
Okay.
What's the
12
question?
points?
12.
What's the record in points? Because I was going to say you could bet that.
Josh
I know Josh
had
had
47 last week, didn't he?
Josh
Josh
had
had
50s before, hadn't he?
I don't think
Maybe
Josh got to 50.
No.
I didn't know if,
I
like,
think
the
the
first
record's.
time-
I think the record's 48.
It's like 47 he got to last week.
Yeah.
Well, you can do your 12 then. You might have the
I'll
all-time
do my
record.
12.
All right. James Pierce Jr. joined a elite group of Tennessee Volunteers, becoming the blank first-round draft pick in Tennessee history.
Wow.
So basically the question is, how many first-round draft picks does Tennessee have?
Oh, man. Notre Dame leads all time in first-round draft picks, like 110. So I'm really guessing kind of in the 50s to 70s range. I mean, I'm not going to get the number head on the nail, but
if you get it within 5, I'll give it to you.
James Pierce specifically, what number was he? Taking out the guys that went this year. I guess we didn't have any first rounders this.
No, we
this
didn't.
year.
James Pierce was our last first rounder. So the answer to the question,
Okay.
is the same.
How many does
total
Tennessee
in
have all
Tennessee's
time?
history?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just phrasing the question
Okay.
like that.
Okay. How many does Tennessee have all time? I'm going to go 63.
Answer is 47. James Pierce became the 47th first-round NFL draft pick in Tennessee program history.
All right. I go down to what?
Did you have
33.
33 points. It's all right. Well, good stuff.
Good showing.
You beat Mila from last week, so
It was good stuff. I like the questions. The losers was a good play on last week's questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go look at the Heisman Trophy, Heisman Trophy case from the 1970s.
you only missed 2 of my questions out of the 10. So
Yeah, but I did get the 5-pointer though. I made up for it.
You did.
Yeah.
I made up for it.
I guess I should have switched Spurrier and Archie Griffin.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Always enjoy doing the tables turn trivia. Good questions from you guys. We'll get back at it on Thursday before we head out for July 4th. Also, speaking on that reminder, we got the drive coming up here in a couple of minutes. They're going to be at the Casual Pint on Friday celebrating America 250. So I feel like a lot of people are going to have the day off. And I can't think of a better way to enjoy or kickstart or kick off America's 250th birthday than go and hang out at the drive at the Casual Pint. So make sure you go do that on Friday. They'll be broadcasting live from 3 to 6. They'll be joining us here in just a moment on the Fan Run Radio airways. But real quick, do want to talk about LBJ. LeBron saying, I'm good. I'm heading out from Los Angeles.
Peace.
Brett,
Yeah.
where do you feel like he's going? Because at least the talk right now is that the Golden State Warriors are about to assemble the Old Vengers and put together Curry,
What did
Braun.
Cody say? Golden guys or something? Not the Golden Girls, but the Golden guys.
Boys?
I guess.
Golden Boys.
Who cares?
The Golden Boy. I mean, hey.
I mean, I think the LeBron side of things is pretty easy for him to go and say. It's just it'd be interesting to see if Washington parts with
they
AD and that
facilitate
situation,
AD out.
you know, because he can sign 4 for $275 with Washington, you know, if they went that route. But
Mhm.
I'm like most. I'd love to see him in Washington. I think I'm between Golden State or going to play with Giannis in Miami. I don't want to have any business with
Send
him
him
in
back to Miami.
Cleveland back and trying to deal with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. That just seems like a headache. And
Yeah, I agree. Connor, what do you think of it?
10 years ago, it would be very
This would
exciting,
never
the
happen.
prospect. Yeah. The very exciting the prospect of LeBron James going to Golden State. I think it's Golden State. That's what I think. I don't think there's really that many destinations for him. I think he's not going to be very happy going back to Cleveland. So I think Golden State's a safe bet.
if they stay healthy, they're a top 4 team. I mean,
Oh, I don't know about
easy,
that, Brett.
easy,
Brett, I don't
easy,
know, man.
easy.
Here's my thing. I love LeBron. I admire Curry's game. I will never cheer on the Warriors.
Really?
I hate the Warriors.
Why?
Well, because
You're a
of
Grizzlies
the
fan.
Grizzlies.
Oh,
I mean, they honestly, I can't even go down that road. I stay strong. I will root for LeBron and Curry together. I think that will be really cool. I think it'll be really fun to watch. And I always like watching LeBron, and I always support LeBron where he goes. But I just have a hard time envisioning him in a Golden State Warriors uniform. I said it yesterday. This thing's gross. But whatever. Here we are. We'll see. Well, what happens to Bronny? Selling popcorn at the Chase Center next year?
He's already been waived. I just saw a tweet about it.
Oh, he's been waived.
By the Lakers.
Did he wave back? No, he hasn't been waived yet.
I guess the interesting thing is now.
This was posted by Ballsack Sports.
Yeah. Also, it's going to be interesting to see what the Lakers do without LeBron. Do they go after a Durant or Walker Kessler's being mentioned, getting a big?
I'd go get Durant if I were them.
Are people afraid of him now?
But they got dominating, Brett. They got dominating down low. What do they need Durant for?
I'm saying that too.
Yeah.
I mean, I
think Braun would love to end up in Cleveland, but I don't think Cleveland is a situation where he can be right now.
Yeah.
So. I don't see the fit.
We're up against the break. We got to let the drive guys get in, but we appreciate you listening along with us. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Coming up next, it's the drive on Fan Run Radio.
Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app